to hold this line!
What's happening, guys? It's your buddy Grizz here, and today I just wanted to talk about the Battlefield 1 campaign specifically. We'll get into some multiplayer stuff later in the video real quick and in subsequent videos, but for today I just wanted to talk about the campaign for a bit actually. Battlefield has never really been revered for their campaigns. They've always just been sort of part of the package and there for you if you want to play it. But it's never really been a major selling point of the games, at least for fans anyway. The studio may have tried to make the Battlefield 4 campaign be a major selling point, but it didn't really work, didn't really go over that well. And on top of that, if you've ever played a Battlefield campaign before, you know that the characters are often not that memorable and the storylines have been mediocre at best. This time around, I was both surprised and impressed by the campaign, I'm happy to report. The only problem with it was that it was a bit too short, but other than that, the chapters, or war stories as I call them, are fantastic. Nice mix of gameplay and cinematics, story and characters. Even though you only spend like a short time with each character, I found myself connecting with them, caring about them, and ultimately wanting to know what happens in their story. And that's really what you want from a campaign. I think my favorite story was the Lawrence of Arabia one, even though I totally expected that I would be playing as T.E. Lawrence, and admittedly it was a bit disappointing that I wasn't actually playing as him, but the story was still really cool. Actually, I'd say it would be between that one, the Lawrence of Arabia story, and the pilot story, even though I didn't really like the character all that much in the pilot story. He was kind of a dick, but the gameplay in that story was amazing and the visuals just absolutely stunning. Running around on top of that airship was crazy, and just I don't even know how they would have survived jumping off that thing. I don't think the London Canal or London River or whatever it's called is really that deep. But I digress. Suspension of disbelief, I guess. The campaign gives you the chance to use a lot of different vehicles and weapons available to you in multiplayer, so it's a good precursor to actually jumping into the multiplayer, as it sort of prepares you for what you're gonna face and gives you some experience, I guess, using the weapons and tools available to you in multiplayer. I would definitely recommend playing the campaign before you hop into multiplayer if this is your first Battlefield game. Even if it's not, it's a good intro to the mechanics of Battlefield 1 for the veteran players as well. Not only that, but I feel like DICE worked very hard this time around to provide us with a campaign that is worth playing. So if you're a fan of the series, you'll definitely want to take the time to go through the campaign. Plus, if you take the time to complete some of the challenges, you'll be rewarded with items that you can use in multiplayer, like weapon skins and whatnot. So it's definitely worth playing. I really enjoyed how they laid out the campaign in separate stories or chapters or whatever you want to call them. Playing different characters throughout the campaign might make it sound less captivating or less immersive, but believe me, it's not. I also really liked how I was given the option of how I wanted to play each situation. In some parts you can choose to go stealthy or just rush in guns a-blazing, and that's always a welcome aspect of a single player campaign, is giving the player some options. It makes it more dynamic, I guess, and it makes the player feel more involved in how the game is played out, so bravo DICE, did a really good job there. There's also plenty of incentive to replay the campaign as well. Collecting the field manuals and the codex challenges are not only fun to do, but they also reward you with some loot for multiplayer as well. The different difficulties also provide for a challenge while playing the campaign, and I felt like it was even challenging enough even on the normal difficulty. I haven't tried hard yet, but definitely interested to see how hard it actually is. So just to wrap things up here on the campaign, I want to say excellent work DICE on making a compelling single player experience in Battlefield 1. We haven't had a worthwhile Battlefield campaign since probably Bad Company 2, so way to break the trend there, and just good job guys, good job all around. I really enjoyed the campaign this round, so Good job. Now I'm just gonna end the video with a little powwow on the multiplayer. So far, I haven't played a whole lot because I've been working and I've been playing the campaign a lot, admittedly, but I have played a little bit, and what I've played so far has been pretty decent. Rush is definitely awesome, and so is Operations mode. I feel like those two game modes will be the ones that I play the most. Conquest, on the other hand, is a bit tainted, I would say, if that's the best word to use there. It's a bit tainted by the behemoths at the moment. I feel like they're just a little too hard to take out, and a team could be having their asses handed to them all game and easily just come back to win at the end after being reinforced with the behemoth. I'd even go as far as saying a team could completely sandbag it in the first half of a match, just going for kills and not really playing the objective too hard. Then once they get the behemoth, they can then just start taking objectives and easily come back and win. Not to mention those crazy kill streaks that they'll go on sitting in one of those big guns on the airship. I can remember one game where we had control of literally every flag on the map for the first entire half of the game. Then, once the enemy got the airship, they were able to push us back and take every flag we had except for one. During that time, I even got into a tank, positioned it on a hill so that I could actually shoot up at the airship, and I sat there shelling it for like a good 2 to 3 minutes. Still didn't destroy it. So either I just needed more help from my teammates and my planes, or that thing has entirely too much help. But overall, I'd say the multiplayer is pretty great as well. There doesn't seem to be any extremely annoying gadgets or weapons or anything like that. In fact, I'd say for the most part, the multiplayer is pretty balanced right off the bat. Now, it's still pretty early in the game, and we may see some problems arise as people unlock more weapons and equipment. There might be something that is a little unbalanced there, but as of right now, I'd say it's pretty well balanced. The only thing that is massively OP are the behemoths, and maybe a little bit the tanks. But then again, it's also possible that players just haven't figured out the best way to take the tanks and the behemoths out as well. Maybe not so much the tanks, but definitely the behemoths. Maybe we just haven't figured out the best way to take them out yet. So I'm admitting that I may be a little early on that judgment. We'll just have to see how things go, I guess. Anyway guys, sorry for not having like an amazing weapon review or loadout video for you right off the bat. I still need to play a little bit more multiplayer before I could effectively give my opinion or review any particular weapons. Let me do a little bit more research on them, and I'll get back to you guys on that one. But for now, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you're new around here, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button, buddy. My name's Grizz, and I'll be seeing you in the near future. Peace.